deer that I was looking at, I thought it was a spike. But as it walked past me and I was trying to get it on camera, I noticed that he had a very, very big front half. And I started questioning if that just wasn't a big deer with broken horns. It's a big, beautiful Saturday morning. I waited till shooting time before I made my way into the woods, only because I'm in my climber today. We have a pasture on the south side of the property, and we have access across the pasture. Well, I decided to come in through the pasture. It means we have a very hard north wind, and I am slightly in the woods. I'm telling you, I'm looking at the fence behind me. It's like 5 yards. So I can kind of see in the pasture in case them bucks are still kind of pushing does, but I highly doubt that that's happening right now. I am looking into a not so old patch of pines that have just been thinned this year. There is some native grasses growing. I don't see why any of the deer wouldn't want to be in here, because it's just thick enough for them to feel comfortable. And it's just open enough for me to get on top of it and see in it. To my west is a bottom. To my west is a bottom that runs north to south. And I'm hoping this kind of acts like a pinch point. Here's I keep on thinking I hear something behind me. But we overhanging the pasture is a bunch of big oak trees, and of course in the bottom there's a ton of oak trees. I'm hoping that they're using this as a travel area. I got the wind perfect, it's blowing into the pasture. And I got a bunch of really big oak trees behind me, so unless they're walking into pasture to the oaks, they have to come through here. It says feeding time is about 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock today. And that's the major. Don't know what time it is right now, but I'm guessing it's about 7. Let the woods calm down. I'm gonna put my other lens, that way I could zoom if I see anything out of distance. And let's see what happens. It's beautiful in here. I love the setup. Hopefully the deer like it too. interesting morning. The deer that I was looking at, I thought it was a spike. But as it walked past me and I was trying to get it on camera, I noticed that he had a very, very big front half. And I started questioning if that just wasn't a big deer with broken horns. And I watched him for a little bit. He eventually worked his way behind me and caught my wind in that pasture, and then came in from the pasture underneath me and ran away from me. And I'm not sure if I got it on camera or not, but as he was running away from me, I can see how wide that deer was, and that was a mature buck with a whole bunch of broken tines. It looked like he might have been like a fork or a 6 on his left side with some trash at the bottom, and his right side, I never could really get a good look at it, but it might have still ended up being a 6 or a 7 point. But when you look at him from a distance and you see the pass, you think it's just one big spike. So what I did, the area where I was, the wind's still going in the same direction, but I actually moved further in another 100 yards in the woods. And then I flipped around, and the only reason why I flipped and I'm looking in the same direction that my wind is going is because to my right, immediately there's just a wall of brush. And that wall of brush is actually the creek that makes a big horseshoe. And the end of the horseshoe touches that pasture. So now I'm in the middle of it. I can see even further in, and I can see back to the pasture. I hear wood ducks in the creek right now, which is in the thicket down there. And there's a 6 or 7 year old cutover on the other side of the creek. It's super thick. I'm thinking that big deer was bedded in here, and I got in here quiet enough with the wind in the right direction, and he didn't know I was in here. And he went to feeding on them acorns and came back. The only thing I see that them deer would be in here for is the native browse, but there is acorns falling on that creek. So I don't know if they cut this corner. If they get lazy and cut that corner, I'll catch them. I am looking back to where I hunted this morning. Could still, see the deer from this direction. I can see where where I first saw him this morning. I can see back in that direction, so I'm gonna sit and I don't know if he comes back. It's not even a question. I'm gonna put him in the scope and pull the trigger. Now that I know I've seen the deer. I don't think a doe is on the menu today. Maybe Sunday or Monday before I go back home. Today's Saturday. There was rifle shots all day long. It's not. They were pretty spaced out though. I got a big hill to the east side right here. I'm looking south. And I don't know. If anything comes across that for any reason, I'll be able to see him. They come out of this bottom to feed in the native browse. I'll see him, because I am positive in that creek there's nothing for them to eat. And in the other than briars, there's nothing in that cutover for them to eat. With them really young pines, everything is just pine needles on the ground. So I'm hoping this is a giant food plot that I'm in. And for some reason, maybe I didn't catch the movement this morning. Maybe they ate before. But the wind's gonna lay down. That sun's coming out. This afternoon should be amazing. It's gonna be 39 degrees tomorrow morning. This morning was only 42 degrees. Let's see.